For this week's video, we're going to be busting some misconceptions about guitar pickups. Let's get started. So today we're going to be using the same guitar with the same strings, with the same pickups, set to the same height. All the variables we're going to try to eliminate, and all we're going to do is switch out Alnico magnets for ceramics. And here are some of the adjectives I found that were used to describe Alnico versus ceramic. So let's start with ceramic first. So here's how ceramic pickups were described online. Thin, harsh, bright, powerful, sharp, lots of attack, cold, best for high gain, lots of treble, artificial sounding, brittle, and modern voiced. Now let's contrast that with some of the descriptors of Alnico pickups. So here's how online in forums they were described. Smooth and warm, sweet sounding, very natural, vintage, mellow, round, and dynamic. So if you were on the lookout for new pickups or a new guitar, would you want something described as harsh and brittle and bright and thin? Or would you want something smooth and warm and sweet and vintage? And I gotta tell you guys, we gotta bust this right away. It's absolutely false. People still will repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And obviously when you listen to those, in no way were they thin or harsh or bright. They were powerful, so that's an accurate one. Colder, definitely not. Best for high gain, possibly. Lots of treble, definitely not. Artificial sounding, definitely not. Brittle, no. Modern voiced, debatable, I think. All right, you guys, let's put the final nail in the coffin and swap out our bar magnets and see what the tonal difference is. So how exactly did this myth get started, and why is it perpetuated time and time and time and time again, decade after decade? Well, I could find three different reasons. First of all, ceramic magnets are super cheap and they can be found on very inexpensive pickups. So cheap pickups must equal cheap sound. Simply not true, but that's one of the reasons. In the 70s, guitarists were hot rodding their Alnico pickups. So they would take very powerful ceramic magnets, put them on the bottom of Alnico pickups in order to juice their amp, really get some serious signal. And the pickups and the winding and the wires and the construction, they weren't made for ceramic magnets, right? So it was just like a Frankenstein pickup. And people were doing this, and I bet you that it sounded harsh and brittle and super trebly and all those description words that I talked about. And thirdly, ceramic magnets are often used in active pickups. So I think that's another, genesis of where this myth came from. The early active pickups maybe didn't sound the best. How are Fender and Gibson and some of the big makers, how are they going to sell the most pickups? They want to make the most profit, obviously. So you have to pick descriptive words that, instantly hook people. Vintage, warm, classic, natural sounding. Thanks so much for watching, you guys.